he goes to some really beautiful areas.
I like when there's like a real thing on here.
History on the tour. Extremely interesting. Where you go? And because the second best bet is gonna. So yeah. And it's haunted. Oh, good. So right here, this is the only official doorway into the tunnels. There's a very long stairway that leads down. So the Shanghai Tunnel Tour, we're back at the Merchant. We're gonna go around the corner here. It extends throughout this block here. I highly recommend that tour. We're not affiliated, but I'm all about the spooky tourism in the city. And Natasha is a lively, boisterous, and really good tour guide. We also have ourselves, which happens to be the oldest nightclub in the world. Yes, opened up in 19. He's a fantastic entertainer and just somebody have that like big, bright light, beautiful energy. Yeah. Thank you. All right, right here at 222. This is us. All right. So we are back where we began. I saved Portland's most famous ghost for last. So this is where we talked about the Shanghai operation. We are now at Old Town Pizza, which is located inside of the old lobby of the Merchant Hotel. This place was built, opened, and operated by three lumber baron brothers, the Nikolai brothers. They're still here. They're not, they're long dead. But the Nikolai family is still here in Portland to this very day. They were pretty influential, and they built Portland's very first state-of-the-art hotel. The Merchant boasts Portland's first hydraulic elevator. They had gas lighting throughout and plumbing and running water. That was a big deal. No one else had plumbing and running water. But these lovely state-of-the-art accommodations had very little to do with the popularity of the Merchant Hotel. This place was a hit because of the debauchery which was occurring inside of these walls. They had a very popular gambling hall, alcohol day and night. On the top floor was Portland's most popular seamstress operation. You familiar with the seamstress operation? So when it comes to early history, thread and needles. So a 25-year-old woman that was unmarried was a spinster. A 25-year-old woman which was sex trafficked was a seamstress. Many times these women would sign themselves into contracts with the hoteliers and the proprietors because in early Portland, a woman would have absolutely no means or opportunity to even provide her basic needs: food, clothing, housing, protection. People lived in flop houses and boarding houses. Like 85% of the residents lived in shared rooming type situations. So these women would sign themselves into contracts, and the hotelier, the crims, the proprietors would ensure that they were given food, clothing, housing, and protection, but in exchange, they were prostituted out without mercy. And while there was no such thing as age of consent, it is tragic. If there had been, it was 13. That's what was going on up here on the top floor. And just a few feet below our feet was Portland's most popular, Portland's most lit opium den. Now these things, the opium, the seamstresses, it's not legal, but there was a gray area. So long as these business owners paid their fair share in taxes, the law just looked the other way. At some point, the Nikolai brothers were suspected of not paying their fair share, so there was an investigation. Now 3 investigators entered the Merchant, went straight to the top floor, went to the women and said, "We are here to rescue you. We're gonna save your lives. We're gonna break you out of here." And all you have to do is tell us what your bosses are doing. And if we can bust your bosses, we will get you your freedom. They were lying. And these women knew they were lying. So they said nothing. But then there was Nina. Nina may have questioned that they were lying as well, but Nina had long been a victim of the seamstress operation. She had hopes that she would escape the confines of the merchant if she told them what her bosses were doing. But Nina was also an unwed mother to a 12-year-old daughter whom had been conceived within the seamstress operation and was just a few short weeks away from her 13th birthday. She had hopes that she would save her daughter from the fate of being a seamstress. She told them everything. And the information she provided was enough for them to bust the Nikolai brothers. Now, when they busted the merchant, they found everything they were looking for. The women, the drugs, the money, they found it all. However, they did not find Nina, at least for a few days. Nina's bosses found out what she had done. They sent her to the top floor to meet a client, but it was a setup. She was met by men that were waiting for her. They beat her to death, and then they threw her down the old elevator shaft where she was found dead days later. Now, when they found her, it was evident that she had been murdered. But the murderer...
Murder! Oh my God, you're being
That's Natasha. She's a little goofy. She's great though. So, when they found her, it was evident that she had been murdered. But the murder of a seamstress meant nothing. They would not investigate her murder. They wouldn't even give her a proper burial. They cleaned up the mess and they discarded her in an unmarked plot. It was absolutely tragic, and it left us with Portland's most popular ghost, the ghost of Nina. Now, this place is filled with countless paranormal anomalies. Portland Psychic Society operates inside of a suite inside of this building to this very night. The underground tour is here. We met Natasha briefly. Down in their basement area, they have a large pizza dough machine. It's a large mixer. It has a safety feature. It takes 2 people to operate it. Yet somehow this machine and other electronics will operate themselves, even when they're not plugged into an electrical source. If you enter and go into the women's bathroom, there is a chance that you might open the door. It's a very small bathroom, very old-timey, original wood, sink, seating area, mirror. You just might hear a woman say, "I'll be right out." Don't listen to her. She's not really in there, at least not physically. But the ghost of Nina is the most profound, most prevalent, and the most predictable. She shows up every night, usually around right now. Often people will smell a strong, sweet floral scent of lilac perfume. It comes flooding out of the corridor, wafting through the sidewalk. And when the scent of lilac appears, so does Nina. Now, if you were standing out here, if you look through an open window, you might see her walk by. She looks like she's right out of the 1880s. She wears a long black dress, and she's known to walk across the dining room. But if you are inside of the dining room, you might just have a very up-close and personal encounter with the ghost of Nina, because she is notorious for approaching the late-night diners, whispering in your ear. They say you'll feel her breath. She's known to say, "Hello, I'm here, I'm Nina." But if she really takes a liking to you, she's also known to ask if you would like to accompany her to the top floor, where she offers her professional services in great detail. In the moment that Nina risked it all in hopes of escaping the confines of the merchant, it appears that she may have enslaved herself here for eternity, because it doesn't appear that Nina even knows that she is a ghost. And as tragic as it is, she had hopes of saving her daughter from the fate of being a seamstress, but that's not how it would turn out for her. So if you are feeling curious, this is a great one. The pizza's good. They do make their own dough. This has been Willem Dafoe's favorite pizza joint in Portland for a long time. But if you do come in, order your food, make sure that you sit inside of the booth which is located inside of the old elevator shaft. You will sit just a few feet away from where the body of Nina was found. It's also where her name mysteriously appeared etched into the brickwork. And that particular booth is rumored to be the best seat in the house, some say in the entire city, on our miserable, hot, sweltering days. Any other day of the year, you're well advised to bring a coat, because the ghost of Nina is ever present, and her essence is said to be bone-chilling cold. And that is the story of the Merchant Hotel, the ghost of Nina, and that is this evening's grand finale. Awesome, awesome. Was it a good one?
That was really good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You've been